Jalen Green was the second overall pick in the 2021 NBA draft by the Houston Rockets. He was my number 3 player in the entire draft, like easily my number 3 guy. He was my number 1 shooting guard in the draft pretty easily as well, and I believe he was the best scorer overall in the draft as well. Today I want to talk about what kind of rookie season I think Jalen Green will have, from the role I think he will play, to what I think he'll put up numbers wise, and his chances at Rookie of the Year. But before we get into today's video, if you're new and you like basketball, I really think you would love this channel. So if you haven't already, feel free to like, subscribe, hit notification bell, be notified whenever I release a video. I make videos that cover the NBA, the NBA draft, and high school basketball as well. So if any of those things are of an interest to you, this is the channel for you. Let's try to get 100 likes on this video so YouTube will recommend it to others. Also, make sure you go check out my other channel where I make videos to take elements from film essays and apply them to basketball if that's something that interests you. Link to that channel will be in the description below, in the pinned comment, and be on my featured channels page as well. So again, if you're interested in that, go check it out. But with that being said, let's get right into the video. Jalen Green is likely going to be the starting 2 guard for the Houston Rockets. I mean, they invested the second overall pick in him. He had a really good summer league, and that's just not from watching highlights. I watched him in person multiple times at summer league, and he looked really good. And on top of that, he has experience playing against the G League competition, so he's more ready for the NBA than I think people probably think he is, just because, you know, he doesn't have the greatest frame, but he has the experience. He looked really good in summer league, and he's overall just very talented and was someone that had a lot of draft capital invested into him. So really, I would be shocked if he wasn't the starter. I think the role Jalen Green will play as a rookie is obviously a scoring role. I don't know if that's going to be as a primary scorer, because there are a lot of talented players on Houston, despite what you may want to believe. Specifically, one name standing out being Kevin Porter Jr., who's someone he's going to have to learn how to play next to. Because Kevin Porter Jr. is another elite potential kind of guy at the guard spot, in my opinion. He's super talented in his own right. Kevin Porter Jr. showed a lot of potential as a passer this past season, so I think he will have a bigger passing role than Jalen Green will, just because of the fact that he's more further along in this regard than Jalen is. I do think that it will take time for them to figure out how to play alongside each other. However, I do think that the Rockets knew this when they drafted Jalen Green. So if the Rockets have confidence in them figuring it out and they develop him properly, I definitely think this is something that will work out in the long run. I'm not really worried about Jalen Green's fit next to Christian Wood, who is the other real standout kind of player that Houston has in its future. And I'm not necessarily worried about his fit with guys like KJ Martin, Usman Garuba, Alperen Sengun, and Josh Christopher, either because I think that they're going to fit fine because they don't take too many of the possessions away from Jalen Green, or they're just going to spend time in the G League a lot to developing a consistent minutes. The only other volume guards outside of KPJ alongside Jalen Green is John Wall. And John Wall is likely not going to be on the team for that long, and he's not in the long-term future, so I'm not too worried about it. So really, when it comes to the role Jalen Green will play on the Houston Rockets this season as a rookie, it really is just going to be about his fit with KPJ more than anything. When it comes to rookie stat predictions, I think Jalen Green will average around 17.1 points per game, 3.8 rebounds per game, and 3.5 assists per game, on, you know, around 42 to 43% from the field, around, you know, 33 to 36% from 3, and around 80% from the line. I do think over time, Jalen Green projects as someone that will be the leading scorer on the Houston Rockets, because he has that kind of potential and that kind of talent. However, playing alongside a 16 point per game, 6 assists per game player like KPJ, who's only going to get better and has shown real scoring potential in his own right, and a 21 point per game scorer in Christian Wood, I think Jalen Green's likely not going to have it guaranteed to be the leading scorer. I definitely think around second or third option, closer to second than third, I would say, as far as scoring goes in his rookie season. And I definitely think moving forward, he probably does become that leading scorer. But as a rookie, it wouldn't shock me second or third option scoring wise. Again, he's not the first and he won't be the last guy that we have seen grow into primary scorers that weren't the guy as rookies. Jason Tatum's an example of it. Devin Booker's an example of it. You know, guys like that where they just had some guys who were more established ahead of him. And I definitely think Green might fall into that category. He may not. We don't know. And you know, it is something to consider. You know, rookie seasons aren't always the best indicator of what someone's long-term success will be. I don't know if Green's rookie season will be an indicator of his long-term success either, stats-wise, because I do think that he has 25 plus point per game potential. But I do think, again, 17, 4, and 4, that's a pretty good rookie year. Definitely think he's going to get his scoring opportunities. They're going to give him the basketball a lot because he was their prize draft pick. I definitely think they believe he can be their franchise player. I don't know about that, but it's possible. He is super talented. I definitely think, you know, the passing, there's going to be flashes, but it's not going to be something that overall is great. Do I think Jalen Green can win Rookie of the Year? I do think he can. I definitely think he can. I think he's going to finish top 2. At the worst, top 3. I would be shocked if he didn't finish top 3 in Rookie of the Year voting, barring an injury, which of course we don't wish that upon anyone. I think he's somebody that has a chance to exceed my prediction. Because I always so low on my rookie stat predictions just because of the fact that I don't want to set too high of an expectation on a prospect. I do think Jalen Green is talented enough and capable of averaging 20 plus points per game as a rookie because he's that level of talent. Also based on the fact he averaged almost 18 points a game on a really good efficiency number in the G League bubble, which is better competition than college, to say the least. So I definitely think he's one of the more NBA-ready guys. But at the same time, 20 plus points a game as a rookie is a really hard bar to reach, and it's something I still don't feel comfortable placing on a prospect. But I do think he's capable of it. So if he does that, I think that he will definitely have a very good case for it, especially considering you look at past years and the players that average 20 plus points a game as a rookie, that's a small list, to say the least. We've seen many superstars who have dominated basketball for years not average 20 plus points a game as a rookie. Steph Curry didn't do it, Anthony Davis didn't do it, Damian Lillard didn't do it, Russell Westbrook didn't do it. So again, it is a high bar to reach, but I think he's capable of it, but I'm not going to predict that he will do it. I think he's going to be closer to 17 to 18 points per game than it will be, 20 plus points a game. Again, in his prime, definitely 20 plus points a game. Probably closer to 30 points per game, if we're being quite honest with ourselves, if he hits his highest percentile outcome. Again, it's going to be tough though, because even if he gets to like 18 points per game, you're going to be competing with Cade Cunningham, who probably is going to put up all around really good numbers. And we saw what happened last year with Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball. So it's going to be interesting. I don't think he's going to win it. He's not who I'm predicting to win it. Obviously, I said Cade Cunningham's probably going to win it. Or at least I implied it. But I do think it's very possible that he has a decent chance to win Rookie of the Year. I feel like if Evan Mobley and Cade Cunningham were in this draft class, for one, and they weren't as special as they were, or if Jalen Green was in a draft class that wasn't as, very special with those top two guys, like, I definitely think I would have talked about it more. I will admit, I didn't talk about Jalen Green enough. I did talk about him more throughout the draft cycle, because he's a very, very talented player. I wasn't as high on him going into the year. I will admit that. I had him like 7 or 8 on my board. But the more I watched him, the more I realized just how special of a talent he was. And in most years, he's definitely in consideration for the number 1 pick. Or at least, top 2. But even in a class like this, he was like a consensus top 3 guy in my opinion. Would I have taken him with the Rockets pick? No. But I also okay, even if the Rockets take him, it's not like it's going to be a bad pick, because he definitely is worthy of the top 2 pick in my opinion. He's a very special player. He's athletic, obviously. That's a big thing that stands out. Not just with his verticality, but also his body control and the flexibility, which I think is the biggest value he brings as an athlete. Also, He is a very gifted scorer, very advanced. But the thing I'm always encouraged by the most with him is the fact that he improved on his areas that he needed to improve on, which was the handle, which showed a lot of strides, the defense, which still needs work, but he definitely showed strides, and was a lot better in the bubble than I think that people want to give him credit for. And the passing showed strides, which again needs work still, but he definitely is making strides. The fact that he's improving on his biggest areas of improvement is a big sign to me that he wants to be great. I know he has a big persona. He's popular. And I know that, he may come off as a bit, arrogant, which I don't agree with at all. I'll be quite honest with you. But you also have to understand, he's 19 years old. He's still very young. He's very confident. And he has all the talent in the world. But he's not just all talk. He's somebody that puts in the work. He's been described by many people as a gym rat. Somebody that always looking to improve. Always looking to put in work. And I definitely think this is a recipe not only for somebody to be a very good player, not only someone that's worth a top 2 pick, but also somebody that has a chance to entertain a whole generation of Houston Rockets basketball fans.